Gonna get my mouth tape on, my blindfold on, my night mask, and see you guys in a bit. Boom. All right, good morning. Still got my retainers in actually. Take these guys off and literally just woke up and need to remove these retainers to get some natural sunlight as well in my room, especially for my snake plant. So I feel like I slept really, really well. The equipment here remained intact, so I still got the pulse ox. Let me make sure I still got, yeah, right below the sternal notch. Doesn't look like or feel like it's moved at all. I feel like I slept really well. I feel like it was a pretty typical night of sleep. When I first woke up, I always draw attention to my tongue, and it felt suctioned to the upper palate. So my mouth tape, the 3M micropore tape, remained intact. So I am quite confident that I was appropriately breathing. Whether or not I stopped breathing at some point and had hypopneas or apneas remains to be seen. The jury's still out on that. Just gonna open up my shade here. Looks like it's raining outside. Just wanna get some natural sunlight for myself as well as my plant. And I've got my phone still hooked up right now to the charger just to make sure that it maintained a proper connection overnight. So what I'm gonna do is get this guy, let's see, just basically finalize this on the Android app. So I'm gonna hit end recording. Are you sure you want end recording? Yes. So I just wanted to run you through my Oura ring results from last night. I was wearing, at the time, a 3rd generation ring, and I've got all of the results synced and uploaded to my phone. So I'm just gonna open up that app right now and run you through the results of that. And it'll be interesting to sort of cross-reference that with the results of the WatchPat 1 sleep study. And unfortunately, over 3 years ago, I was not wearing an Oura ring at that point in time, so I can't really cross-reference retrospectively. But I think this will be super interesting to look at here. If we go into the sleep tab, we can see my total sleep time, time in bed, sleep efficiency, resting heart rate, all of this. My sleep score was a 93. It was optimal, which definitely coincides with how I feel. I am, though, inherently a morning person. I always feel like like King Kong, super high test in the morning. Just feel like I can really get after it, and usually I like to hit the weights pretty early in the morning, just when I feel my personal best. And yeah, you can see some pretty impressive results here, like 2.5 hours of rapid eye movement sleep. That's REM sleep and deep sleep. A pretty low latency, only took a few minutes to get to sleep. And that's one thing that I really benefit from, is not ruminating at night. Like, I'm pretty easily able to just be lights out and get some good deep restorative sleep. Moving along here, we can see my average O2, that's my blood oxygen saturation, was 99%, which is like the highest that I've ever seen it be. Very, very good breathing regularity. Oftentimes I will get a result of good instead of optimal, and so I will have these irregularities in my breathing pattern, although it looks like last night it was extremely good. A nice low heart rate like we like to see, and a heart rate variability, 57 milliseconds. So, just gonna be waiting a few more days for the results of the WatchPat 1. Super curious to see how this turns out, but if not as well as I'd like, it's good to know that without being hooked up to CPAP, I am able clearly to get deep restorative sleep, as evidenced by the Oura ring, and also qualitatively just how I feel in the morning. But that being said, I do like the comfort of knowing that the CPAP does tend to further augment my oxygenation. Obviously, you saw the average there was 99%. What I'm gonna do is make a future video where I wear a continuous pulse oximeter that measures my blood oxygen percentage every other second. And then we'll do a with CPAP and without CPAP comparison. So, see you guys in a few days. Peace. All right, guys, just getting a call from Lofta right now. Just gonna pick this up. Hey, this is Jason.
Hi, Jason. This is Carla from Lofta. I'm giving you a call. We have a scheduled appointment for me to go over your sleep results with you.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, thanks for the call. I'm sorry, what was your name?
My name is Carla.
Oh, Carla, yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. So I sent the report on the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a chance to look through it and kind of read the data and all of that?
Yeah, no, thanks for asking. Yes, I did. And just pulling it up on my laptop right now as well.
Okay.
You know, just like the PDF.
Perfect.
Yeah, it'd be good to walk through. Yeah, I had one of these done like a few years ago, and I think I uploaded
March
it. 2020?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have your previous one here because you sent it in.
Oh, perfect.
I believe.
That's awesome. Yeah, maybe could we just start off, could you help me understand the difference, if any, between AHI, which I feel like I have a solid understanding of, and and PAHI?
You mean like RDI and AHI?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do see the RDI as well. When I look at the result from the PDF, there's like a lowercase p before the AHI. And I wasn't sure what that meant. I understand like the apnea, hypopnea.
Oh, on the raw data? Oh, it's just like a more clinical term, but it's the same. So PRDI stands for RDI.
Oh, gotcha.
It's just it's not like a different number. It's just the same.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've found to help, and I know, that was over a few years ago. So it looks like my AHI went from 16.7 to 6.1. So I'm still, I basically went from moderate to low mild. Would that be fair? Yeah. The biggest thing that's helped me is I was pretty sure I used to be a mouth breather, and I wondered if like my tongue was just collapsing my airway. And I was wondering if I suspected that was perhaps, triggering some of these obstructive apneas and hypopneas. So I started like retraining my tongue posture and doing this thing called, like mewing, which is like this fancy word for just where your tongue, I guess, should be. For some reason, I just didn't have, good tongue posture. And like for this study specifically, and I do this every night anyway, I use like 3M micropore tape. It sounds kind of crazy, but I just put like a little strip of that over my lips, just as kind of like a reminder, or to necessitate, in a sense, nasal breathing. And it looks like that was effective in terms of reducing my AHI, but
go ahead.
No, that's really good. Yeah, if you could send me the raw data, I don't know that I received that. That would be really interesting to look at.
Yeah, I have both of them pulled up here. I have your previous one and your recent one. So I can send that over your way. While I do that, did you have any other like specific questions or anything you noticed or?
No, just that, I appreciate you walking me through this. I honestly feel like everyone should have a sleep study done. I don't know how where you come down on this, but it's like you spend between a quarter and a third of your life unconscious, and it's just like you don't know what you don't know. I suspect that sleep apnea is not only incredibly insidious, but also underdiagnosed, just because a lot of people just don't get it studied.
1000%.
Yeah,
a lot of things are linked to sleep that we're not even aware of, because there's so many things that are happening in our sleep that we don't think about. and we're sleeping, so we're not aware of it, but also we kind of put it like in the back of our minds. Or there's this stigma around sleep apnea that only older people or overweight people have it, to where it's not like that at all. It's actually a lot more common than people think. It actually can be genetic. So it could be genetic. It could be due to people having really thin airways. They are just born like that, so they're more prone to collapsing. Mm-hmm. Or people having a wider neck, so they have more neck tissue that's causing obstructions in the airway. Of course, it can be weight related, but sometimes other issues like insomnia, maybe anxiety can like exacerbate sleep apnea as well. So yeah, there's a lot of things definitely tied to that, especially things with like memory, that's tied to like REM sleep, for example. Muscle weakness that can be tied to deep sleep. Yeah, it's definitely something to take seriously, and so we're trying to break that stigma a little bit. I have sleep apnea actually, and my dad has it too.
Yeah, I got tested for the first time in March 2020 just because like my sister was diagnosed with upper airway resistance syndrome, and I really feel that it's profoundly impacted her memory. And, just this perpetual experience of her talking about, being in bed 9-10 hours and still not being completely rested is just very alarming. It suggests to me that, she's not getting the right quality of sleep. And then I read this book by Mark Burhan, who's like a dentist. He wrote the 8-hour sleep paradox. And I, just went really deep down the rabbit hole and became so fascinated by it because frankly, I feel like sleep is such a fundamental, foundational pillar to human health, and just the idea that you're unconscious during it, I think, you kind of have a duty to yourself to study and kind of look under the hood and peek behind the curtain and see what's going on exactly. Just my sleep stages, I guess all things considered looked pretty good in terms of my % deep sleep and % REM sleep.
I was going to talk about these. So, in terms of time, so you did go above the ideal sleep percentage. So you spent 27% of the night in deep sleep and around 27% REM as well.
Perfect. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Paula.
Yeah, thank you. You have a great night. Awesome. Did you have any other questions or?
You know what? I think that will do it. Yeah. No, just thank you again so much. And got to get my parents to do one of these now. You know what I mean? It's like my sister's got it. It's just like mom and dad, I gotta look out for these two. My goodness, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, definitely. It's better to know because then you're more conscious of your sleep.
I agree. And you take your own health, into your own hands. So,
yeah. And you change your habits a little bit. Even little things can be a big difference.
100%. Yes. Well, thank you again, Carla. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you. Have a good night, and we'll be in touch. Okay.
You got it. Take care now. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Alrighty. So, not the flawless victory that I was hoping for. I was really hoping to just have a AHI below 5 so that I wouldn't technically be diagnosable for obstructive sleep apnea. But seeing that over 3 years ago, I did have a 16.7 result, now being at 6.1. Ultimately, that is a dub. I think that's a win in my book. And it rests me more assured that when I go camping, for example, or maybe I'm traveling, for whatever reason, don't have access to my CPAP setup, that I can still get a good night of sleep, as evidenced by my 27% of time spent in rapid eye movement sleep, 27% of the time spent in deep sleep. So that definitely rests me assured, and overall does speak to the benefits of mouth taping and mewing. And CPAP therapy is something that I will be continuing to do just to optimize for those oxygen levels. And I'll be making a future video as well where I wear a continuous pulse oximeter that takes a data point every other second. And that's something that for the people out there who don't want to actually get a sleep study, I do highly recommend at least monitoring your oxygen levels to make sure that you're not desatting, ideally below 90, but ideally keeping 95 or above, in a perfect world. And that'll be my goal with CPAP therapy, is to keep those numbers sky high. So thanks for checking out the video, guys. Sleep tight.